Roy Leslie showing us how it's done. We're lining them up for round 2, race 2 of the Shell Oil Superbikes. Matt Mladin has inside start again. Peter Goddard on the Suzuki starts alongside. Scotty Doohan out of 3 on the Ducati. Trevor Jordan out of position number 4 and Anthony Gobert from 5.
Out of 6, bike 15, Martin CRAGGIll. From 7, bike 5, Kirk McCarthy. Out of 8, 6, Roy Leslie on the second Ducati. From 9, bike 16, Robert Baird. And rounding out the 10, bike 11, Chris Bombarderi.
Just over 10 seconds before we see them off the starting line, with Matt Mladin looking for the second leg of the double in the Shell Oil Superbikes. Anthony Gobert just looking for Peter Goddard to move up there on the Suzuki, and we're not too far away from a start. Mladin, can he keep his perfect record intact here today? Huge crowd at the other end of the circuit waiting for the arrival of the Superbikes. Here we go. Off and racing any second. No, they pull them back onto the line. One was over it. Doohan, in fact. That's better. Off and running, and Mladin just out-accelerates them, but Doohan.
Scotty Doohan, what a great start. He got the jump on Mladin. That'll spice things up. Matt's been the guy going off like a cannon over these races, but here's Scott Doohan on Ducati. Got the power down here, leads him round the corner for the first time.
So Doohan and Anthony Gobert also away. Here's Goddard, one back behind him. Martin CRAGGIll, the independent, coming down here.
Trevor Jordan's got the jump on his teammate too. Mladin back in 3rd position. He's going to get scooped up by one of the Hondas. This should be a much better race.
Oh, Mladin takes both of them on the inside.
Oh, look at the power of the Kawasaki as he busts that group up, gets in front of Jordan, Gobert and Goddard as they come around the sweeper for the first time. A huge lead to Scotty Doohan on the V-twin Ducati. And watch Matt Mladin as he gets the hammer down and tries to wrap up this Italian bike in the first couple of laps.
We have a good race going here. Heat number 2 into Coca-Cola turn. Out onto that fresh bitumen.
Oh, look at Trevor Jordan.
He didn't leave Gobert with too much room to play. And
Sure didn't.
Jordan really after them at this stage, but Scotty Doohan on that Ducati doing a fabulous job.
Here comes Roy Leslie on the second Ducati bike 6. Chasing after his teammate, but all the actions at the front as they come through once again. Scott Doohan, Matthew Mladin now up to 2nd position. Goddard, Trevor Jordan, his teammate, dumps in behind the Suzuki, and bike 23, Anthony Gobert in 5th. This is a good battle.
Well, the Ducati's on Michelin tyres this season after 3 years on the Dunlops. They're obviously warm enough now for Scotty Doohan to get away, but look, Mladin tucked down on that Kawasaki. Goddard runs in 3rd. Jordan is back in 4th spot. And here's Jordan making a move on Goddard as we track Mladin. And he's still sitting in behind Doohan to the left-hander.
Well, this will give all the other guys quite a confidence boost. I dare say their morale and confidence has been shot by the return of Matt Mladin. Yes.
Look at the speed of Mladin as they come onto the pit straight once again. He's taking big chunks out of Scotty Doohan's lead. Very important for the championship too. With that win in the first heat, Matt goes to 60 points in the championship, a perfect score. Scotty Doohan trails him 17 points behind on 43. Now Scott can win this race. It's going to make a big difference in the Shell Superbike Series for 94.
Great battle between bike number 44, that's Jordan, and Anthony Gobert. Jordan was the 1993 Malaysian Superbike champion. It's a new look Team Kawasaki for 94.
Jordan's very impressed with the power and performance of these local bikes. He said they got more punch than the ones he rode in Malaysia, and that's quite a credit to Team Kawasaki Australia. They sweep through once again, 260 kilometres an hour. Scott Doohan looks over his shoulder. He can see Matt Mladin coming behind him. But it's very evenly matched at this stage. He got the jump, and that's what was required.
Mladin floated out here on that new section of pavement, then turn it. Goddard. Jordan is one back behind him, then Anthony Gobert, and it's getting very close at the front of the field as Matt Mladin closes in on Scotty Doohan. Tried to close that option off of the inside pass. Watch the run here as Mladin tries to set him up and come down the inside. Doohan's having none of it. He's on the white line. He doesn't want to let him through, but he's got off it.
It's very, very exciting. It's very rarely we see Matt Mladin get into some hand-to-hand combat. He usually bolts and leaves the field behind him, but this is really terse stuff. Italy versus Japan, different technology, different riders. They tuck down the screen once again as they come up the back straight.
Won't Scott Doohan love this as he goes in, prepares for the Australian Grand Prix in a few weeks' time, the wildcard entry. Mladin on the inside looking for some racing room. Doohan shuts the door and says, you're going to have to do better than that, young fella.
He's trying to set him up again here, maybe a different line. Watch them as they come past the pits. Now he finds an opening down the inside, but he can't pass him. Now he tries to duck down on the inside clear.
Great fight back from Scott Doohan. Matt Mladin using carbon fibre brakes on the front of his bike. That's to put him off the end of the straight in practice on Friday, but it's certainly not rattling his confidence. Look at him as he gets down behind the Ducati once again. These two just streaking away from the field.
He's left this gap, but there's not enough room to turn inside and apply the brakes.
Mladin only 0.3 of a slower than his 54 dead qualifying time. These guys are really seriously going for it here. Goddard has been left behind, as to Gobert and teammate Trevor Jordan. This is where all the action is. Matt Mladin, once again on the ZXR, tucks into the draft behind the Ducati as they head down to the braking area once again. He was very fast here last time. Look, he's gone deeper than Scott. I think he's got him. No, Scott Doohan still holds him out. A tremendous battle.
Just peppers the throttle and grabs him on the exit. Great riding from Matt Mladin here today at Symmons Blades.
Unbelievable speed. Fastest lap in the race at 55.43. He really is right on his qualifying pace. Runs wide as they come out of the corner that time. 5 laps down of this 11-lap Heat 2 of the Shell Superbike Series. But Scott Doohan's not giving up. Look at this. Here's his teammate. As we go aboard, this is what Scotty Doohan will probably be seeing from his bike. 7 race cam takes you aboard the Ducati V20 of his teammate Roy Leslie. Currently running in 8th position at the moment. Not quite as quick as his teammate. That little gauge you see Shell as one making its way back onto the track.
That looked like Simon Ritchie, actually.
All covered in dust, but he managed to keep it upright. Matt Mladin, gee, it's the first time he's been under pressure. He's got a perfect score so far in the Shell Superbike Series. But Scott Doohan really took the fight up to him in those opening laps, and it doesn't look like he's letting him get too far ahead at this stage.
There's not much you can do about it when he stalked you for about 3 laps and then finally got you under brakes.
5 laps to go as they cross the strike this time around. Mladin and Doohan have certainly built up quite a lead. 3rd place at this stage is bike number 23, Anthony Gobert, with Trevor Jordan and Martin Cradle.
It's demoralising enough if you're Scotty Doohan, then he looks over his shoulder at you. Goddard back to a 9th spot after starting on the front row. So he obviously has some problems, and Roy Leslie encountering some today as well.
Scott Doohan on the fuel-injected V-twin Ducati, enjoying a bit of extra punch out of the corners. The Ducati's also pretty high-tech with this electronic gear change they have on them. But it isn't doing enough for him today. Here's the battle. Anthony Gobert, battle for 3rd and 4th with Trevor Jordan. As Andy mentioned before, Malaysian Superbike champion for the last couple of years. Very quick, very experienced rider, thoroughly enjoying his time aboard these beautiful TKA machines.
4 laps to go. Second heat, Shell Oil Superbikes. Jordan working away on Anthony Gobert on the Honda 23. Exit to the pit turns. He's been all over the back of Gobert the last 2 laps. How close they swing out by the guardrail. They come up towards the hairpin. The idea being don't leave too much of a gap open on the inside. There's Peter Goddard with problems, slowing off. He's headed for the pits.
And said Air Freight Suzuki team, they're doing a great job with this bike. Very quick in qualifying. You saw the speed he had on the first race, finishing 2nd. And unfortunately, mechanical failure drops them out of the running. That's a great shame. But they'll be back, as too will Trevor Jordan, as he sneaks under Anthony Gobert.
Anthony,
these 2 bikes evenly matched.
Anthony said, away with you, lad. Now, see whether he can do what Mladin was able to do. The slip back on the exit to this corner, he wasn't. The leader's already across the line with 3 to go, unchanged. This is the scrap in the race. We're following it for you. Anthony Gobert riding for the Winfield Honda team.
Just turned 19 last weekend, young Anthony. It's superstar on the dirt, Supercross racing, and really taking like a duck to water this Superbike competition. He's such an acrobat on the bike. And Trevor Jordan matching him pace for pace. They come under brakes once again. The Kawasaki's enormous reserves of braking power, as you saw Matt Mladin at the end of the straight last time. Jordan's really got his work cut out from here.
Actually, Gobert gets away from him, the exit to the hairpin. But gee, it doesn't take long before Jordan's up. Here he is again on the inside. No room for error there.
But then it looks like he's got him, but then...
Gobert says, deeper, faster, quicker.
This is the effect on our lens of our camera there. It looks like he's side by side, but Gobert's got it covered. Bit of a grandfather's axe, this thing, the RC30 Honda, in its 7th season of competition. There's so many different components in it to keep it up to date, and it really does have the performance compared to the GS.
Putting a lap on John Orchard, 2 laps to go. Mladin across the line has opened it up.
Got some lap traffic now, opens up a little gap on Jordan as they come through the lap once again. That's the gap he needed. Jordan's passed the slower bike. We take race cam, 7 Sport race cam aboard Roy Leslie's Ducati dealer team Corsa. 888cc V-twin, you can hear it revving hard. That little LCD readout on the dashboard there is engine temperature. And just to get the glare off the screen, it's something like 76, 77 degrees Celsius. Just shows how cold it is at Symmons Plains this afternoon. That bike would have been running at temperatures in excess of 90 degrees at Sandown. So
I didn't need that dial to tell me that.
very, very chilly at Symmons today.
Slipping into the kink as we now see plate number 45, the Kawasaki of Matt Mladin.
Last lap, third bike, Kawasaki ZXR 750R. Saw it dominate like nothing before it in 1992 in Mladin's first season of Superbikes. Scott Russell won the World Championship aboard a similar machine last year. And the Japanese have really been fighting back in the World Superbike Championship of late.
Matt Mladin, Mark, it's great to watch him close up. The weight distribution, the way he puts the front portion of his body over the front when he's coming into a corner, the way he exits, really is sensational to watch.
Particularly impressive when you realise how sore he is. You mentioned in that interview you had with him that he's...
where he came off down here, wasn't it, on Friday in practice? But the last corner comes up now. The checkered flag is at the ready. And in the Shell Oil Superbikes, he had 2 at Sandown, make that 2 at Symmons Plains too. For Matt Mladin, who gets across the line. Scotty Doohan on the Ducati finishes in second spot. A little touch of daylight then back to Anthony Gobert on the Winfield Honda, followed by Trevor Jordan, Martin CRAGGIll and Kirk McCarthy. But a fabulous day here today for Matt Mladin and Kawasaki. Checking them out for you on the Shell race score. Mladin the winner over Doohan. Gobert finished in third. Jordan was fourth. Privateer Kawasaki rider Martin CRAGGIll finishes fifth.